Hey, good evening. You're on with Big J. I was going to say Happy Independence Day, but then the question would come after that for who? We're here tonight to do what we do, and that's let's talk sports, news, and information. As you can see, our subject tonight is Sha'Curri Richardson. There's a lot of things here with this that just intrigue me. Number one, if you look at FloJo, and FloJo was considered to be one of the fastest women in the world. In her Olympics, she ran for the United States a 10.49. Richardson's fastest time so far is 10.72. I think she did a 10.71. But she's nowhere near the top of setting the record of FloJo. So what's the real issue? Because then if I look at this from a sports perspective, then I would say, you know what? Well, they don't want to allow her to take and set the record of FloJo. That won't happen. She's just not fast enough. All right. Then there's Marion Jones and there's other women. So it's not about speed or passing someone. So what is the real issue? And here's my opinion. You can take it if you want. I know her mom passed. I know. Weed is a byproduct of everybody now. Let's be real. Like I said before, everyone, not myself, but everyone in this generation. All right, so that's not an issue. But what is the real issue then? The fireworks are going on. I don't care. I want to talk about this young lady right now because she's done things that are amazing. But here's my opinion, and you correct me if I'm wrong. I think that because she is a free will, free spirit individual, I think the Olympic Committee are scared that through activism she will get up and represent a group of people who have been denied rights in this country. And I feel because of her ability to gain attention and call attention to herself, I feel that the United States feel that she might do a Gwen Berry to where she would get up and quote unquote disrespect the flag or something like that. Now watch this. Nike didn't pull out, neither did her other sponsors. So there's something else going on behind closed doors. Please, if you know what it is, let me know in the comment section. Just don't sit idle and let me go with this narrative and you know what's really going on. I would love to hear it. Because again, she is no threat to the records. Now, if she comes out and does something amazing and beats FloJo's time of 10.49, then we know something. But even Marion Jones, I believe, at 10.7, she can't do anything about that. She might be able to, but setting a record, no. So what's the real issue? Because I've never seen it like this. Other young ladies can come out and run a 10.72, but what is the real issue? Why are they shutting this young lady down? And I believe, again, because she's outspoken, she's free will, and with the loss of her mom, and if you've seen her in some of her other videos, yes, she is Afrocentric, and I don't think they want that. So what they did, they found a way, this committee within the state to where marijuana is illegal, but I understand the anti-doping committee and what they did, but I think it's bigger than that. And what I think is they wanted to make sure that Richardson did not do a Gwen Berry and deny the flag and those when she stood up to receive gold. I just don't think they want it. They don't want another Tommy Smith or John Carlos. We're living in a time now of activism because what have been done to black men all over the country. And now women are starting to stand up and say no more, no more. Enough is enough. I need my father for my kids. I need my baby's daddy. All these different narratives now are coming to light. And individuals are using their platforms to make their voice known. All right? So I think, in my opinion, that's what's going on. The sound doesn't bother me. Individuals where I live, they're allowed to buy fireworks and set them off. More power to them. All right, but what I'm saying again, you have to understand the narrative is bigger than what we're being told. Watch this, and the reason I want to validate this point because if you look at the screen, you'll see FloJo at number one. She ran a 10.49. Shelly Price run a 10.68. And at number three, you got Jeter, who ran a 2.64. Then Marion Jones at number 4, who ran a 10.65. Then Elaine Thompson, who ran a 10.70. And at the bottom, you see Sha'Curri Richardson, who ran a 10.72. So it's not about her breaking any records. So then it can only be one thing. They don't want her brashness, her outgoing, her red hair, her nails, which speaks volume, which says she's an independent woman. And an independent woman has an independent voice, whereby they do not want that. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Then you will see for yourself.
I know what I did. I know what I'm supposed to do. No, I'm allowed not to do, and I still made that decision. But not making an excuse or looking for any empathy in my case, but just, however, being in that position of my life, finding out something like that, something that I would say is probably one of the biggest things that have impacted me positively and negatively in my life when it comes to dealing with the relationship I have with my mother. So that definitely was a very heavy topic on me, and people don't understand what it's like to have to. Or people do. We all have our different struggles. We all have our different things we deal with. But to put on a face, to have to go in front of the world and put on a face and hide my pain. Like, who, I don't know, who are you or who am I to tell you how to cope when you're dealing with a pain or you're dealing with a struggle that you've never experienced before or that you've never thought you would have to deal with. Like, who am I to tell you how to cope? Who am I to tell you that you're wrong for hurting? So I think just honestly just leading up to that, dealing with my mental health, dealing with my mental as is with leading up to the games, every time stepping on the track, definitely expected to be a record breaking time or something like that. So just with that, pressure in itself was also just another thing with this actually been my first full professional career, my first full professional start gig this year due to, the pandemic. So just considering all of that put together, long time, my agent, my sponsor, my sponsorship, my family, knowing me dealing with all of this stuff. I had an interview scheduled with my agent. I knew I was having an interview. I knew going into the interview. Like, I was just thinking it would be a normal interview, and then on the interview to hear that information come from a complete stranger was definitely triggering, was definitely nerve shocking, because it's just like, how are you to tell me that? Like, it's like, and no offense against him at all. He's just doing his job, but definitely that's it.
See, she's still going through a lot behind the loss of her mother. And I think that was just the wrong time for a lot of it. But in my opinion, what they're saying is no more protests right now. We don't need another Tommy Smith or John Carlos. If there was another young lady who was about to run, who was not as brash and outspoken and took her place within track and field and looked the way she wanted to look with a certain confidence, I don't believe there would have been a problem. There have been other individuals in the Olympic trials and other things who were caught doping with marijuana, and they were given lesser times, some months, and those times reduced, and they were allowed to run. Again, if we go back and look at the times, it's not about her time. Yes, she's the fastest woman among women today, but Flojo holds the record that's been held for, I believe, 27 years, and that record is nowhere close to being broken. So what is the issue? The issue is that she's outspoken, she's who she is, and that's why I put the blue mark on the screen. Just like LaMelo Ball, at 21 years of age, she has a great following, which means she has a great voice, which means if she speaks, the youth and that generation listens. So what they wanted to do and what they want to do is cultivate her thoughts process, her thinking, and her actions. So watch this. So she doesn't make the country look bad. Well, how does she make the country look bad? Oh, by standing up against injustice. Oh, I got it now. They want to make sure that she doesn't do that. So give her 4 more years, she'll be a little bit more intelligent. Then she'll think about it. She won't do what Gwen Berry did. So do you understand? It's not about breaking a record here. They just simply set her down because she's like a LaMelo Ball. It's just track and field. And I'm going to get out here and blow everybody out the water. Hey, I salute you, young lady. You are a proven winner, and you have nothing to hang your head on. I give my son my recommendation on marijuana, but I don't disown him. Neither do I talk about what he chooses to do because he's a grown individual. Yes, she represents the country, but she didn't do what others in this great United States of America do every day in a political position and other positions. Hey, you know what I'm going to say. If I have to ask you by this time to subscribe, I know you're just not interested, and that's okay too. But you know what I'm going to say. Be the best, and the best you will become. Big ups to Miss Richardson. God bless you. God bless everyone. God bless America.